All right, so a couple things I want to go over. Some of you, and there's a decent percentage of you actually, I don't have your off-campus learning day assignment, so it's currently a 0, as well as your fixing the arrows, the spawning location of your arrows. Like, I know all of you guys have it because we're working on it in class together. I will assume you guys have that done and working. You just need to upload it to me. Excuse me. You just need to upload it to me so I can give you credit. You guys currently have a 0 if I don't have it. Yes, Josh.
I turned that one in, but it wasn't like exactly correct, but kind of fixed it. Okay.
Oh, there's Stockton. Stockton, you're late.
Hello.
You're late. Now I gotta go back and edit my attendance.
I don't see like where to submit it because like I was gone for like on Monday and I don't like see where to submit it.
It's just a homework assignment.
Oh, but like I don't see it.
Go to previous.
All right. Well, we'll take a look at that after class. We'll look at that after class because I am recording this and I don't want to record me double checking your homework like that. So I just need you guys to get those assignments to me. Currently, I've gone through and marked them as 0 if I don't have the correct file, or if I have a 0 if I do not have a file from you. So if you've turned something in, but if you have questions, talk to me after class. So I kind of want to go over the assignment, which then puts those of you who haven't turned it in. But so we're going to go over the assignment, the off-campus learning day assignment. So if you did it wrong or incorrectly or poorly, you can redo it and ask me to re-upload. But otherwise, we're just going to go through it, make sure you guys have the right answers. So I asked you guys so that when your health gets below 50%, I believe I said 50%, to have your character change to the other bunny picture in the resources folder once health is below 50%. Thank you. I didn't forget, I just hadn't gotten to it yet. So, what that means is I'm going to need to load in another character image. So I'm going to copy my player and paste it, and I could do half player, I could do player 2, I could do low health player, whatever you want this variable to be called. I think low health player is going to be pretty good because we know exactly what that is. But now what I need to do is I need to find out the name of the image that is my low health character. So what I'm going to do is I just go to my resources folder as soon as I find it in my computer. 2020. Second hour student folder. Nope. There we go. Second hour. Resources. Yep. I figured it was dude 2. I just wanted to make sure. So dude 2. So the difference between dude PNG and dude 2 is the ears are different, and I have a different color arrow, or I'm different color bow. So now that I know it's dude 2, I go to the end of player. I do dude 2. Make sense? So now when I do the health, I can really do this anywhere, but I should probably do it before we rotate the player image and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do if health underscore value is less than 194 divided by 2. I just want to make sure it is health value, right? Yeah. And this, why is it 194 divided by 2? And I might as well integerize that. Actually, no, I don't have to.
Isn't that like the pixel length of the thing, and that's like half of it, which is 50%?
Well, my value of health, my starting value of health is 194. So 194 divided by 2 is 50%. So then the easiest way for me to do this is I'm going to put player is low health player. That's the easiest way. Is I just redefine the image to be the low health image. So when I run this, my game should start off. Oh, we don't have our health value on screen. Oh yeah, see, he changed. See the different. So yeah, I'm just not going to print health value. So we got to get chopping on some of this stuff. So boom, I'm just going to wait a second. Oh, I changed the speed of them. Now they spawn. Oh, see there, look, he changed. So that is how you would do that. So again, these if statements, this idea is key to doing well in the final. Because if you can do this, you can have different images, you can have different speeds for your player, you can have different power-ups, you can do all of these things if you understand that once a certain condition is met, you change values. That's how you get different difficulties, different levels, different types of bad, well, not really, that's more with the list of bad guys. But this right here is key. So that's how you do the first part. The second part is to make sure my character stays on screen, which is something I get asked a lot in how to do, and I try not to tell people how to do it because I'm like, you should be able to figure it out. So what we're going to do is, I'm not going to do that. So because it's asked so often. So I'm going to take a little screenshot of my guy. Full screen snip. Okay. And then I'm going to stop the game. So for our game, this is it right here. No. All right, time to erase. So what point is this right here? You guys can just start yelling out. 0, 0. So this top corner is 0, 0. So that means this whole line is x is what? This is x is 0. And this whole line is what? Y is 0. What is this point over here? Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah, so this line up here is all, this is always going to be y is 0. This is always x is 0. So good catch on that. I was wondering if anyone would. So down here, what's this corner one? 640, 480, aka known as what? Width and height. Right? Remember that? These are set to values. So our character, how do we keep him on screen? Boundaries, yep. Notice for sake of argument, that is the player position. Player position 2 technically. That consists of an X and Y position. Is that right there? Make sense? So what we need to do is we need to make sure that that point isn't allowed to go way over here. That's the bare minimum. It would be better if that part of the image is never able to go past this line. Does that make sense? So what would we do if we don't want this point to go past this line? What would our if statement be?
If y is greater than 480.
It would actually be x.
Oh, yeah.
If x is greater than 640, what should happen?
Be like 600 or something, so that's
Well, hey, so what do we need to put in this part of the if statement?
x equals 6.
X equals 640. Yeah. So if x gets bigger than 640, rewrite it to be 640. Catherine, then Josh.
Would it be like 640 minus 50%?
Exactly.
I was just gonna get to that. So this right here, so if you have, I'm gonna change color now. So if, I don't know why I'm changing color actually. If x is greater than 640, x is 640. That means this point here goes right here. So our image is actually like this. So our character is technically off screen, but technically on screen at the same time. So the best thing to do, we know how to get the width of an image, don't we? We've done that a couple times already. Get get underscore width. So the best thing to do, or now granted, because we rotate our image, it's not going to be exact. If you don't rotate your image and you just have a static square of your image, this will work. But because we rotate it, part of him may go off screen, part of him may not. So you will need to mess with numbers. But in general, if you have if x is greater than 640, hang on, I need to write this over here a little bit more. So you have if x is greater than 640 minus image dot get underscore width. X is 640 minus image dot get underscore width. Does that make sense? Josh, and I see some confused faces.
So without rotations, that would be perfect.
That'd be perfect, yeah.
What if, because I didn't do image.get underscore width, I just kind of did trial and error, where I started where it was technically on screen, but you couldn't see it.
You can
kind of added pixels to make sure.
You can totally do that. The only thing is that if the art department gives us images that have varying pixel widths, you'll have to do that every time you change the image, where if you do this, it's a little less trial and error based.
Okay.
Does that make sense to everyone? Because if I want to see my image, I have to blit it a little bit more I have to blit it further on screen than you would think, because the top left is is what controls the blit. Ezra.
What happens if the image is rotated?
It looks a little funky at times. Like so on mine, well, and I'll get to that in just a sec. I'll show you in a sec. Then you have to do the same thing with if x is greater than 480, or you could do height instead of 480 minus image dot get underscore height, y equals height minus image dot get underscore height. Make sense? Then for this direction, you just basically, if x is less than 0, x is 0. Because you don't have to worry about the width or anything, because the pixel, right, this is going to be our bunny image. So no matter what, even if it is at 0, 0, you'll still see it on screen. Make sense? Okay. So if you don't, so let me close out of that. So that's what this, I did do player width divided by 2 because that helped a little bit. So my character is on screen. It's not perfect. I got to figure out why that is. And then same here. This looks pretty good to me. So he's not going, well, he could go a little bit closer. That's right there. That's real good. So what I would do is I would then go, okay, so I need to look at my x. So if my player x is greater than width minus player, what happens if I get rid of that? Divide by 2. I can't remember what that does. or how much it affects it. Excuse me, I'm burping.
I
Sorry.
had to go halfway off. Oh,
Yeah. So can't do player act. So at this point, you could do divide by 2 like I did, which gets you closer. You could do player pause bracket 0, but it's player pause 2. So player pause 2 bracket 0. We can try that. So it is a little bit of trial and error, but this is how you do it. You just have some if statements at the end of your code. Oh no, you can't do that because player pause 2 is a tuple. That's why I didn't do that. So then you would have to go back and change player position. Instead of being a tuple, you should do it to make it be a list. And I didn't feel like doing that. Which is probably fine if you just did that. See if the game still works. So that's all this is. That was the homework. Make sense? So then I can go player pause 2 bracket 0. Player pause 2 bracket 0. Get rid of the divide by 2, divide by 2. Okay, I did something wrong. So don't do it that way. What I had before worked. Any questions? Take that as a no. Alright, so save that. I'm going to stop this video and we're going to start moving on with our game.